Hey guys, your favorite shoe designer, Njeri Mbote, and it's a brand new year 2022. We are very excited. We thank God. You know, 2021 came. 2021 was actually our chance to actually recover from COVID. You remember 2020 was very tough on business people. If you've been in business for VAR Kenya specifically, it was very tough for us, but 2021 we got the chance to actually start recovering. And the reason why I am so excited about 2022 is that all the efforts we made to recovering, you are now going to actually bear their fruits in 2022. What about you guys? I am very, very excited. This is the year. And before anything, I would just love to urge you all, let us make this year 2022 be the year that we buy Kenya and build Kenya. We can never ever get enough of that. Let us buy Kenya, let us build Kenya. It is our nation, and if we are going to grow, let us do this for ourselves, let us do it for the future generations and the ones that are coming after us. Just check out like all the big brands that we have out there. The main reason why they succeeded is because their people were actually behind them through it all. If you remember the first iPhone phones, the biggest smartphone company that we have right now, you know, their first phones, their first batch failed. Even with Nike, if you have ever read the autobiography of Phil Knight, he said that the first batch that he produced, the batch it was just a terrible batch. But the people of Oregon decided just to buy the shoes because it was a guy from Oregon. It was their guy. So they decided to support him. And right now, Nike is the biggest sportwear brand in the world right now. So let us buy Kenya and build Kenya. It doesn't matter where we are right now, we have to think about the future. If Rome was not built in a day, and you all know that every journey begins with one step. So take each and every step with us. Take each and every step with us until we reach a point where Made in Kenya is known worldwide. Made in Kenya is known worldwide. It is celebrated worldwide. And when it gets to that point, the best part is it's gonna be our own. It's gonna be Kenyan products, Kenyan brands, something to be proud of, something to be proud of. And also for us as Kenyan manufacturers, I'm very excited because we have so many manufacturers that are getting in the game right now. Every single day, especially the young people. I think that will actually be the biggest achievement that we will get, that's the biggest achievement that we'll get to achieve as the young people, my generation, us, the millennials and the Gen Zs. We are actually putting our products and our services on the map. We are believing in ourselves. So let us keep doing that. Let us keep doing that. We deserve it. We deserve to write our own stories in our products. Have something to be proud of. Huh? If you don't have your own, then what do you have? What do you have? Huh? Let us create our sense of pride in our products. So 2022, this is the year. This is the year to put ourselves, we are already on the map, but to actually mark our presence, When Made in Kenya is hard out there, people can relate it with efficient affordability, quality, comfort, and all the good things that come with quality products, products that are actually made for us and products that are made by us. So, 2022, what do you guys think about that? I'm very excited about it. Personally, I'm very excited about 2022. So I'm going to give you a small recap of VAR Kenya. VAR Kenya, dignifying Africans, dignifying African feats. It's what we're all about. And I remember I've been asked this question a lot, and I address it most of the time, but I'm never gonna get tired of addressing it. I'm always asked, Njeri, what do you mean dignifying African feats? What do you mean dignifying Africans? Dignity is something that feeling dignified. How do I break that in words, Yani? How do I break that in words? It's like being given, respect, consideration, and just basic humanity, dignity. So when we talk about dignifying African feet, I'm going to start with African feet. When we talk about dignifying African feet, we mean giving them the treatment that they deserve in regards to footwear. We are making footwear that are designed for our feet, footwear that actually tell our stories. So there's the first part where it's the physical part. We have the physical aspect and we have the psychological aspect. So in the physical aspect, it's in regard to our actual physical fit, by making footwear that is fit for our environment, that is fit for our way of life, that is fit for the shape of our feet, and the sizes of our feet. No single person should not be able to get a shoe, or maybe their shoe size, or maybe their shoe shape, because we don't have our own standards in the market. We even actually have Mexican sizes. Like I always said this, we have Mexican sizes. Mexico is not even such a big country. It's not even such a big country, but we have Mexican sizes. Yet we don't have a single African size, and we have a whole continent with 1.3 billion people. Where is the dignity in that? Where is the dignity in having to actually go to a shoe shop and try so many shoes until the one that fits is the one that you will wear, because we don't have our own standard sizes? That's the dignity that I'm talking about. Where is the dignity in having shoes being brought here from outside that are not fit for here? Having synthetic shoes in the south of the Sahara, like that, literally, it makes no sense, because our tropical climate, our equatorial climates, they are not fit for such shoes. So that's the dignity that we are trying to bring. We have these things that are called they're called what do we call them? No, they're not called cones, they're called hamatos. So hamatos, you can tell me about yourself, but I think almost everyone I know has a hamato, and it's like a norm, but it's actually an anomaly caused by ill-fitting footwear. Footwear that are not actually designed for our feet. So that's what we're trying to do in the physical aspect. And then now we have the psychological aspect, where the fact that we are making these shoes, we are building these brands, we are making these clothes. It doesn't even have to just be us, but the fact that we are making them ourselves, it means that we are telling African stories. There is a story behind that brand. When the brand grows to a point where it is actually an international brand, it is always going to be a Kenyan story. When that story is told about, it's going to be a Kenyan story, a Nairobi story, our story. It is going to be a story. Anytime we talk about the brand, these brands that we have built, we will have a sense of pride talking about this brand that started from scratch, and now it is this big brand that is serving everyone in the world, everyone in Africa. We get to have that sense of pride by getting to tell our own story in our own products. So that is what we mean by dignity. Dignifying African fit and dignifying Africans. And specifically in Kenya, we don't just address our clients, because we have these shoes that we are making for our clients that we intend to dignify their feet and give them a story of their own to talk about. But there are also the people who actually make this happen. Those are the manufacturers, the ones that ensure that these products are available to you. They're there, they work on the product development, they craft the shoes, they work on the craftsmanship, they work day in, day out. We are working to dignify them too. And how are we doing that? So that is what we mean by dignifying African fit and by dignifying Africans. But let us not forget that before these products are availed to you, we actually have a lot of people behind these products. And who are these people? These are our manufacturers the artisans, the ones who actually work on the product development, on the design, on the crafting, and make sure that at the end of the day, we have a good product that can be availed to you. So we are working with manufacturers as well. And we're not just working with manufacturers, but we are specifically working with manufacturers in the informal sector, what we know as Juakali. And our intention is also to dignify them, because as we are dignifying you, it is also important that we dignify the people behind the product, that is our artisans. So what we are trying to do, first things first, we are trying to advocate for fair pay, because one of the biggest challenges that our artisans actually face is it's the issue of pay, because since time immemorial they have always been pitted against each other, with brokers against prices and everything. So most of the artisans actually live below poverty line, and I'm talking about the artisans in the informal sector. Like they don't live well off lives depending on how much they actually produce for us. There was this study that was done back in 2019 by the World Bank, and the annual consumption of footwear in Kenya is actually 4 million pairs. And Karioko market on its own, its annual production of footwear per year is 2 million pairs. So you can imagine Karioko market on its own produces half of the locally produced footwear in the country. Half of the locally produced footwear in the country. And yet, most of the artisans, in Karioko are not well off. Why is that so? People are always making money from them. It is about time that they are also dignified. It is about time that we dignify those careers. And let us not forget that we are now actually stepping into a time where, artisanry, design work, and everything is about to be the next big thing. When we were growing up, white collar was the thing. But the world that we're actually moving into, blue collar is actually starting to take over. So we need more artisans. The demand for footwear in this country right now is 32 million pairs, and yet our production capacity is just 4 million pairs. And the biggest challenge cited by any manufacturer in this country is the skill gap that we have. We do not have skills. Why don't we have skills? Because artisan work has not been glorified. You will not go and ask a kid in school, what do you want to be when you grow up, and they tell you a shoe designer, because we don't even know anything about designing shoes. That is how much we have actually ignored this very vital sector, in our industry. So it's about time we actually start glorifying these things, and the only way we can glorify them is by actually dignifying the artisans. Pay them well. Once someone lives well, once someone is well off, people can actually look up to them. Kids will grow up and see a well-off artisan, and they'll be like, when I grow up, I actually want to be a shoemaker. Can you imagine if we actually have artisans? Can you imagine if the 32 million pairs of shoes that are consumed annually? And that is a study that was done back in 2019. It's 2019 or 2017. Yeah, that was the study that was done back then. So you can imagine just how much the consumption has increased over the years, because you're now in 2022. Can you see what a big gap that is in the market? If we actually had the capacity to produce all that footwear, that is a billion dollar industry that we have, just looking at us. Look at our neighbors. Uganda, they don't even have a shoe production industry. They don't have one. Look at Tanzania, same thing. So can you imagine what a big gap that is? These are actually the industry that we should actually be pushing the next generation towards, because if a gap is there, it needs to be filled. If a gap is there, that definitely means that it needs to be filled. So yeah, we are working with artisans in the cottage industries. You're working with cottage industries. So basically, what you're trying to do as VA Kenya is to be the bridge between the Jua Kali industry and all the cottage industries, and the end consumer, which is you at the end of the day. So we are trying to bridge you both so you can get to enjoy the finest made in Kenya products and also get to actually support these artisans that we have on this end. And don't forget, once you're paid well, in your work, you are rewarded well, you actually put more effort into it. It even gives you the morale to wake up and work better, to design better products at the end of the day. So that's why we are working with artisans in the cottage industries. And that's not all we are doing. Like we are not just providing a market platform for their products, but we are also supporting them financially. We have this new company. It's a sister company of VAR Kenya. So they are basically interlinked. It is called VAR Credit. VAR Credit is it's a credit company that basically works directly with informal sector manufacturers. And what we are doing is providing tailor-made loans for them, because you will find that in the informal sector only 14% are actually banked. The rest of the 86%, they just finance their businesses with their personal finances and everything. And that is no remedy for growth. That's why these businesses always remain small all their lives. And the people who actually offer them loans, these loans are not tailor-made for them. They're just loans that have been given to them. So we are tailor-making it for them and trying to surpass most of the we are trying to surpass most of the reasons that the formal financial institutions cite when they don't offer them loans. But you see, we have worked in the informal sector ever since we started Vakenya. So we are actually coming from a point of empathy, because you have been in the informal sector, we are in the informal sector, we have always worked with them. So we are tailor making loans for them and credit, that are basically tailored for them to grow, because their growth is our growth. The in the true fashion of our Kenya motto: when we grow together, we succeed together. So let us all grow together. We are all building this industry from the ground up. Don't you forget that any industry involves a full supply chain. And for the industry to actually grow, every single member in the supply chain has to actually play their part. So we have the artisans, and they are playing their part by actually producing these products. We are the intermediaries, and we are playing our part by ensuring that we are supporting them financially, we are giving them the financial inclusion that they actually need, and we are also providing a market platform for their products. And you get to play your part by actually consuming these products. And if we all play our role, the industry is limitless. The industry is limitless. I am talking about 32 million pairs consumption annually. And that is just shoes. We have clothes, we have bags, we have food, so many things we can value add. We are looking at 42 million Kenyans, and not just 42 million Kenyans. After that, we step out into East Africa. After that, we step out into the rest of Africa. And we are looking at 1.3 billion Africa, which is estimated by 2030 to actually be 3 billion Africans. So who's gonna serve these Africans? Let us not forget one thing that we always forget. We are always so excited about exporting our products outside, to other continents. But don't you forget that, think about it, most of the products that we consume here are actually imported. What if we actually start producing these products ourselves so that people can consume them ourselves? Africa will be a powerhouse. We have the biggest population of young people. Let us start thinking Africa. Let us start producing Africa. Let us start consuming Africa, and no one can touch us. We will have our own stories, and who is a man, who is a woman without their pride? Let us give ourselves pride in our own stories, in our own products, and this is the year that we actually get to do that. So happy 2022, guys. Let us watch this space. Back Kenya, dignifying Africans, dignifying African feet all day, every day.